Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. In today's video, I am going to present first lesson from class 11 syllabus, Introduction to Microeconomics. If you like this video, please give your feedback and subscribe to my channel. So let us begin. First of all, we shall see some basic terms. So first term is good. What are goods? Goods are physical, tangible objects used to satisfy people's wants and needs. For example, food, clothing, shelter, etc. Services, that intangible satisfaction of wants and need. For example, doctors, etc. Now, individual. So, an individual decision making unit, a decision making unit can be a single person or a group like a household, a firm or any other organization. Resources, those goods and services which are used to produce other goods and services, for example, land, labor, tools and machinery, etc. Now we will discuss about economy. What is economy? Economy refers to the whole collection of production units by which people earn their living. Economics. What is economics? So we can say that economics refers to the study of how a society chooses to use its limited resources which have alternate uses to produce goods and services and to distribute them among different groups of people in order to satisfy unlimited human wants. Now we will discuss about economic problem. So economic problem is the problem of choice involving satisfaction of unlimited wants out of limited resources having alternative uses. The root cause of all economic problem is scarcity. So, scarcity in economics refers to the limitation of supply of a good in relation to its demand. So, some reasons we have in our economy, and what are these reasons? First is economics problem arises because wants are unlimited. Second are resources are limited. And next is resources have alternative uses. Now let us examine each of these factors. Scarcity of resources. The supply of resources, for example land, labor, capital, etc. is limited in relation to their demand and the economy cannot produce all what people want. It is the basic reason for the existence of economic problems in all economies. These resources are available in limited quantities in every economy, big or small, developed or undeveloped. No economy in the world is rich in all the resources. There would have been no problem if resources were not scarce. Now, unlimited human wants. As we know that human wants are never ending. They can never be fully satisfied. As soon as one want is satisfied, another new want emerges. Wants of the people are unlimited and keep on multiplying and cannot be satisfied due to limited resources. Human wants also differ in priorities. Example, all wants are not of equal intensity for every individual. Some wants are more important and urgent as compared to others. Hence, people allocate their resources in order to preference to satisfy some of their wants. Alternative uses of resources. Resources are not only scarce but they can also be put to various uses. It makes choice among resources more important. For example, land can be used for farming, setting up a factory or a school, etc. As a result, the economy has to make a choice between the alternative uses of the given scarce resources. If one resource can be put to only one use, there would be no problem of choice. Now we will discuss central problems of an economy. Central problems are the economic problems faced by every economy. An economy has to allocate its scarce resources after choosing from different potential bundles of goods to be produced, select the technique of production, and also decide as to how the output thus produced should be distributed in the economy. So, the central problems faced by economy can be categorized under three heads. What are these? First is what to produce and in what quantities. Second, how to produce. And last one is for whom to produce, or the problem of distribution of output and incomes between the members of the society. So first is what to produce and in what quantities. This problem involves selection of goods and services to be produced and the quantity to be produced of each selected commodity. It arises since resources are limited in an economy and can be put to alternative uses. Producing more of one good usually means less resources will be available for the production of other goods. For example, production of more cars is possible only by reducing the production of other goods using similar resources. So, production of more war goods is possible only by reducing the production of civil goods. So, on the basis of the importance of various goods, an economy has to decide which goods should be produced and in what quantities. Second is the problem of what to produce has two aspects. What possible commodities to produce? An economy has to decide which consumer goods, rice, wheat, clothes, etc., and which of the capital goods, machinery, equipment, etc., are to be produced in the same way. Economy has to make a choice between civil goods, bread, butter, etc., and war goods, guns, tanks, etc. How much to produce? After deciding the goods to be produced, the economy has to decide the quantity of each commodity that is selected. It means it involves a decision regarding the quantity to be produced of consumer and capital goods, civil and war goods, and so on. The guiding principle is to allocate resources in such a way that gives maximum aggregate satisfaction. And last is how to produce. The central problem of how to produce is the problem relating to the choice of the technique of production to be used for producing different goods and services. By technique, we mean what particular combination of inputs to be used for production. A good can be produced using different techniques of production depending on the availability of resources. Broadly, the choice is between the two types of techniques: labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique. What are two choices? What are types of techniques? Labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique. The technique which uses more labor and less capital is labor intensive technique. So, what is labor intensive technique? The technique which uses more labor and less capital. The technique which uses more capital and less labor is capital intensive technique. Now we will give some example. In the US being capital rich, wheat is produced using capital intensive technique, while in India being labor rich, wheat is produced using labor intensive techniques. The guiding principle for the choice of technique is to adopt that technique through which maximum output can be produced at minimum cost using the least possible scarce resources. For whom to produce? This problem relates to the distribution of produced goods and services among the individuals within the economy. For example, selection of the category of the people who will ultimately consume the goods. Whether to produce more goods for the poor and less for the rich, or more for the rich and less for the poor. Since resources are scarce in every economy, no society can satisfy all the wants of its people. Thus a problem of choice arises. So, goods are produced for those people who have the paying capacity. The capacity of the people to pay for goods depends upon their level of income. It means this problem is concerned with distribution of income among the factors of production, like land, labor, capital and enterprise, who contribute to production process. So, the guiding principle is to ensure that the most urgent wants of the society are fulfilled to the maximum possible extent. Now, positive economics. So, what is positive economics? Positive economics deals with what is and is a statement of economic facts. It is based on fact and can be verified using actual data. It does not involve value judgments, so is not suggestive in nature. Example, price levels in India are rising and there is high rate of unemployment in India. Normative economics. What is normative economics? So that is, normative economics deals with what ought to be or what should be. It is not based on facts and can't be verified using actual data. It involves value judgment, so is suggestive in nature. Example, the unemployment rate should be reduced. The government should decrease its expenditure to reduce the rate of inflation. Microeconomics. Microeconomics is that branch of economics which studies the behavior of individual economic units of an economy. Its main tools are demand and supply. The basic objective of this theory is price discrimination. It is also called price theory. Microeconomics studies first studies of individual or market demand for a commodity. Price determination of a commodity. Now we will discuss about macroeconomics. Macroeconomics. What is macroeconomics? It is economics which studies the behavior of aggregates of the economy as a whole. Its main tools are aggregate demand and aggregate supply. The basic objectives of this theory is determination of national income and employment. It is also called theory of income and employment. Example of this: study of income and employment in the economy. Study of rate of inflation or general price levels in the economy. Now, interdependence of microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics depends on macroeconomics. For example, demand for a commodity is influenced by the taxation policies prevailing in the economy. Similarly, macroeconomics depends on microeconomics. For example, national income is the sum total of factor incomes earned by all residents of an economy in a fixed year. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel and give some valuable comments. Thank you very much.